When you are abducted by a stranger, you don't know if you will ever see your loved ones again. The fear and pain are exasperating, but the relief and joy of being rescued is incomparable. We will discuss 4 such stories, starting with this. Number 1. 9-year-old boy who happily rushes up to the policeman and hugs him when he learns that he has been rescued after a strange kidnapping. A 9-year-old boy was reported missing to Atlanta police. His mother told authorities that he was in the car that had been stolen Monday morning on Goodwill Ralph David Abernathy Avenue. Fortunately, the boy had a phone with him, and a relative of the boy provided officers with the GPS location of the boy's iPhone.
The radio, they're tracking the car to South Gordon and
This enabled officers to locate the car and the kidnapper. After some time, they were able to identify the car and track it. However, in his haste and in an attempt to escape the police, the perpetrator rammed the car on the side of the road.
Show me your hand!
When the boy spotted the police officers, he rushed towards them, hugged them, and thanked them profusely. He was sure that his mother had alerted them. The police officers checked him for signs of injury, but he was fine.
My mom called you?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. Excuse me.
In the meantime, the kidnapper was pulled out of the car by police at gunpoint and placed in handcuffs. When he was identified, they found his name to be Darius White. He was then taken into custody by Atlanta police at the Fulton County Jail. Number 2. If you think this was a dangerous kidnapping, you aren't ready for this brutal hours-long captivity in a locked house where this girl was chained to the floor. A girl's desperate cries for help from a broken window on the 2nd floor alerted the neighbors, who called 911. When the police arrived at the house, they found all the doors locked from the inside, and the only access was the window that the girl had smashed. The neighbors lent them a ladder to reach the top floor and rescue the girl. To their horror, they saw that the girl was tied to the floor.
Where's the key? I know he's got it on his feet.
A chain was wrapped around her neck and locked under her chin. The police searched for the keys, but the girl said that her boyfriend had them. He had locked her in there and disappeared. Several Louisville Metro Emergency Medical Services personnel and other paramedics came to the scene and assisted the victim. They prioritized her safety and cut the chain from around her neck. The medical team immediately transported her to a hospital. The girl's name was Jonah Wilson. She later spoke to a news reporter and said she had gone to the house with her boyfriend to clean it. But he instead chained her up and held her captive for over 5 hours. She had no choice but to try to break the window, which she eventually succeeded in doing, and call for help. Victim Jonah Wilson also said that she had a 1-year-old daughter with her boyfriend and that they used to live in this house.
You want to do this the hard way, you want to do it the easy way. So I want to do it the easy way.
It was a harrowing story of survival, and she was badly shaken. She wanted her boyfriend to go to prison, which happened after 2 days when the police tracked him down and took him into custody. His name was identified as Moses, and he faced several charges including kidnapping, assault, and domestic violence. Number 3. A Florida man has been arrested after kidnapping his girlfriend's 1-year-old son and leading police on a chase before using the child as a human shield outside a McDonald's. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office went to the home on Bunker Lane in Palm Coast, about 60 miles south of Jacksonville, on the evening of September 27th for a report of a possible child abduction. Brandon Lohner, a 27-year-old man and the boyfriend of the child's mother, abducted the 1-year-old child with a handgun and drove out of the house with the child on his lap. Officers attempted to stop Lohner as he drove dangerously through the medians and sped on Belle Terre Parkway. Many officers tried to stop him. However, he disobeyed and instead fled eastbound on State Road 100, where he drove through oncoming traffic before turning into a McDonald's parking lot at a shopping center. The body cam footage shows Lohner getting out of his car near the McDonald's drive-thru with the 1-year-old in his arms. He used the child as a human shield and ignored the police officer's request to put the child down.
Put the baby down! Put the kid down! Put the kid down!
After a brief standoff, the officers used a taser on Lohner and rescued the child. However, Lohner still tried to flee and resist arrest. But several officers deployed a taser and managed to knock him down.
Hands behind your back!
Put your hands behind your back, dude!
They even had a canine dog subdue him as they handcuffed him. This is a case where a domestic situation turned violent and put a 1-year-old child and innocent motorists in danger. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley said in a statement. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley stated that it was a domestic violence situation that put a 1-year-old child and the lives of innocent motorists in danger. Fortunately, the child was not injured and was quickly reunited with his mother.
Go do work, bud. Okay.
However, Lohner was arrested and charged with kidnapping, abuse of a minor as a shield, resisting law enforcement, neglect of a child, fleeing and eluding, and reckless driving.
Put your hand behind your back. The dog comes off. Did it again.
Number 4. What began as a routine patrol for Alabama police turned into a terrifying rescue mission when they followed a van into the woods and found a woman chained inside. A witness in Alabama alerted police about a man who abducted a woman in a van and drove her into the woods. The witness said he heard screams coming from the van as it drove away. The police arrived quickly and pursued the van. When Alabama police stopped the van, they were met with a gruesome scene. A woman was being held hostage by a man with a knife. The van was locked from the inside, but the officers managed to break in.
I got it.
They tried to persuade the man to drop the knife, but he refused. Police rescued the woman and subdued the man with tasers after a tense standoff. Inside the van, they found a nightmare. A cage with wire mesh windows, blankets blocking the view, and doors secured with chains. They dragged the suspect out of the van and quickly handcuffed him. It was Sean Sanders, a homeless man from Los Angeles with an extensive criminal record. He had been on the police's wanted list but had gone into hiding. The woman had suffered more than 30 blows to the head with a tire iron, but she survived and recovered at home. Sanders was sent to jail to face his numerous charges.